Ko Zane Wedding tōku ingoa. Ki ētahi, he kaitiaki au o ngā rākau. Engari, kāo. Ko ngā rākau ke ōku kaitiaki. E tūnei ngā rākau, e tūnei ahau. Tūtonu, tūtonu, tūtonu. You would have noticed that as we came up the hill, all of the roots were intertwined. Kahikatea don't stand good alone. They weave their roots together like a whānau, and then when the winds come to them, as a grove, they support each other. Whānau, I was like homeless at about 13 years old. I was an independent youth from about 15. At 16, I was expelled from school. And because of that, I had to find a job or I would have been back on the streets. I'm just sitting on my front deck, wondering how I'm gonna pay rent. Literally, a truck pulls up, a bro who I love, still to the stage. I'm sorry, he's like, what are you up to? Do you want to come to work for the day? And we went to work that day, and he was the climber, and watching him, instantly I knew, like, that is what I want to do.
You wouldn't want to do this job if you were afraid of heights, Dave.
No, you wouldn't, but it's a great job. People say, what's your job like? I say, well, we get paid to climb trees.
Final competitor, who have we got?
Final competitor, Zane Wedding. Zane's from Auckland. Zane teaches a whole lot of guys. Even some of his students are here today. He's a boriculture tutor at the Manukau Institute of Technology. If you hear people down on the ground yelling, it's always Zane.
Zane and I, we're from Mauherea, the hood, the bad neighborhood. And when you grow up in those kind of neighborhoods, you build a tenacity. And when you're often told that you're the worst of humanity, the worst of the community, a lot of times you use that as fire to prove to other people that, no, you're wrong. We are the best.
I knew, this speaks so much to who I am. This is what I want to do, not just do it. I want to be good at it, not just be good at it. I want to be like the best.
And 13.6 seconds is the time to beat. This is Zane Wedding. And he's getting the call from Dave James to pump it. 13.6 seconds is the time to beat. And I'm not sure he'll beat the Australian James Gigliotti, but he's making a good late burst here. Let's have a look at that time.
He's 15:40 on my watch.
It was through being able to look after trees that I was able to discover, I'm not just like a worthless kid growing up in South Auckland, like I'm capable of things. I literally just won the President's Award for Arboriculture for service to the industry. I'm in this spot where I'm pushing towards this one thing, but at the same time, some of the most rare trees in Aotearoa sit in a tiny place in Avondale.
Kei tenho tā wewe, a Zane Wedding, he kaiporo rākau Māori ki roto i ētahi rākau te uro Tāmaki Makaurau, kia kore ai ngā rākau e poroa.
Real impoverished community on a street where a lot of kids just like me grew up. I knew I had the climbing skills to hold that. And I knew those trees provided value for those rangatahi, and so it was just a choice that I had to make. Someone has to do something about this, and so I did. That afternoon, a bunch of people took to the trees, no harnesses. I turned up there that day as an arborist, and I can remember climbing some of the trees to get some of these people out. One lady in particular didn't trust me at all. She was fearful that I would cut that tree down. Me and that lady could not be closer now. The people who were involved in Canal Road, we're closer than friends. We forged not just a community, but a whānau. New Zealanders care about nature. We just do.
We've seen basically a third of Auckland's trees be removed over the last 8 years. These rākau are incredibly rare in Auckland, and so we need some form of protecting them.
Police officers need to care about their community. You are not showing that you care.
One of the saddest days of my life, and I've lost people.
We need housing, but not this way. We're the only voice for these trees. They're silent, they can't speak.
To your neighbourhood. Oh, wait a minute. Not the North Shore of
When they arrested me,
The damage is done. Stand away from the police.
and they took me to the jail. Bro, it's the best I've ever felt, eh? It was a longing that I had had since I had been like living on the streets. Kareko ngā hono ngā ki tōku tūpuna, kare tūtaki, kare mōhio, engari mōhio rātou i ao. Like they know me, yo. I had that realization sitting in a prison cell after getting the beaten out of me, feeling like a fool for living in a tree, knowing I would be on the news that night, like an embarrassment. And it was the warmest, most fulfilling feeling that I ever had, and that's like what I chase now. Yeah. That fight didn't end when they cut the trees down at Canal Road. It actually probably put gas in my tank in terms of how long I could go for resistance. And slowly, over the years, instead of being an arborist that did activism, I've become an activist. I've gone from like 2019 being given the President's Award for Service to Industry to now not having a place in that industry.
Go set up what's left of the comp, check some gear, and I'll be a judge for today at the climbing comp. I won in 2020, and then 2021, 2022, 2023, I was just forced into a judging position. And I think that's especially associated just to the fact that it's me, one of my students.
More often than not, they just don't want to be around me because, like, I'm trouble, yo. That's what they've kind of framed me to be, which sucks. Because half of these people, yo, like one of my best friends, you know, and even they send me messages now like, well, what the is up with you? I get it. Like, the only way that they get to engage with me is through like news articles or on the news or on social media, where it used to be that we'd just be swinging around in trees together. And I just hope that when we kind of come together and like ka nohi ki te ka nohi, they remember the person that I am, and that all of those things that they liked about me is the reason why I'm out here doing that.
Do you wish you were climbing competing today?
By more than anything.
But I also understand the responsibility that I have now, because when you stand up and do something and other people follow, you can't just gap. I have generations of work to do. I have to reclaim a language stolen from me, restore my tikanga, and that is what I would have to sacrifice to become world championships now. What activism has brought me, it's a feeling that I can't replicate, because it's brought me back to something that makes me feel whole, yo. And success in climbing competitions is cool and but it ain't that.
I could be in prison right now. I lived in a tree for ages to protect these stories, so that I could stand in Ngāhere one day and be able to tell you guys, yo, within these trees, that's our shared history and we need to protect it. It's drawn out in different lines, but if we trace back the struggle of Palestine back to that root, If you trace back the struggle of Māori back to that root, it's the same hand that works to continually empower rich people of the extraction from the whenua. That's where my activism lies, is fighting against that thing. Please, be proud, whānau. I was taught that my ancestors walk with me everywhere. They're proud to walk with us today. Our mokopuna will be proud of what we did today. Free, 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 from the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Let's go, e te iwi.
Ko te orokohanga o tōku tāmitanga, he pērā tonu ki te tāmitanga o ngā tāngata paratinia, ngā iwi take o te ao, me te tae ao anō hoki. Nō reira, me piki tonu tātou, me whawhai tonu tātou. Ko tōku tumanako, kia tūtonu ahau, anō nei he mairi, he tōtara, he kahikatea. Engari, pēnei i te kahikatea, kia uru kahikatea te tū. Ko tūia ngā whaiaka, kia kore ai e nei rākau e hinga. Tūtonu, tūtonu, tūtonu rā.
Ko te rangi me te whenua ka pāhe mō, ko te reo mautonu ki te ārero. Tūtonu, mautonu, tūtonu, tūtonu, mautonu, tūtonu. Ko te rangi me te whenua ka pāhe mō, ko te reo mautonu ki te ārero. Tūtonu, mautonu, tūtonu, no hea riro ia maki